Yes! Welcome to the phenomenal podcast, yes! I am here with the one known as the Arcadia!
Hi!
And now, Brother Nelson,
Yes.
I believe you have some words for us about your opponent at Money in the Bank for the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns, the dog of rather sizable stature.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to keep going with that or not. Sorry, your lack of talent. Anyways, what was the question there, buddy? You just said, I heard you have a match. Where was the question on that?
Yes, you have things to say about the man you have a match with, Roman Reigns. What is it about Roman that you have to tell us?
Oh, what is there to say about a guy who can't get anything done right in wrestling? Yep, went there. Let's see. Roman promises things and he doesn't stick to his promises. Roman loses everything and anything he touches. Let's take a look at his fabulous football career. What else? Let's see. 4 times this guy has main evented WrestleMania, and all 4 times in succession, and all 4 times it was a crap match. He can't get the job done. He has no talent at all. He literally is the next John Cena. But the thing that's different between John Cena and Roman Reigns is that John Cena can actually put over other wrestlers versus Roman Reigns, who needs other wrestlers to help him get over. Picture this, if you will. Coming up, before this year's Money in the Bank, they tried to put Roman over with Jinder Mahal. And you know what the fans said? You both suck. Way to go. Roman Reigns is nothing more than the guy that Vince McMahon has a hard-on for because he's juiced up. And yes, he does do that, as we once saw this a few years back, how he got suspended for doing things he shouldn't have done. Say what you want. And quite frankly, he's someone that he will never be, and that is the next guy. He's not the guy, he's not a guy, he's nothing. He's nothing anymore.
Yes, as it shows, the dog of sizable stature is nothing but a wee chihuahua in the plane known as WWE.
Yeah. Yeah. If Roman Reigns a dog, he's plain and simple a bitch. That's all he is. Is just a bitch who can't get anything done right, who cuts a promo worse than I can right now. I mean, at least I'm getting some reaction versus him. Everyone just says boring and you suck and all this other crap. When in reality, the person that should be the star of the show, the person that should be the guy, is me, not Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, when it rains, it bores. And trust me on this, I know it firsthand because I fell asleep in a few of his matches. I'm not even joking with you. Roman Reigns as Universal Champion is equivalent to me going to a screwed up city like the one I'm in right now and getting some form of STD just by breathing in this crap air. But, go on.
Well, that was wonderful, yes. We thank you for your words of wisdom on the dog of sizable stature known as Roman Reigns. And we will now proceed with our regularly scheduled program, yes.
Too sweet.
Oh my god.
Too sweet.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that nobody else is around to introduce the podcast.
I'll go. Welcome, guys, to the next episode of the Phenomenal Podcast. Per usual, this time we actually have the full team back. Well, We're still down one member because I don't know where the hell he went. But we have a replacement. He's here again, and I'm sure everyone here loves it. I know I did. But it is I, the usual, Nell, a.k.a. Mr. Arcadia, joined by Synyster aka Eric, joined by Shell, aka Shelby, and the brilliant man, the one and only, the one that everyone's been waiting for, Woken Zel.
Yes. It is once again a privilege and a pleasure to be with you all again, and it is an honor to meet you, Sister Shell. I am humbled to meet your spirit once again in this life.
I don't know how to react to this.
I need an adult.
Yes, you did not know how to react back in the day when we met eons ago.
I feel like that's a bad thing. I do need an adult.
Alright guys, so per usual, this is our weekly podcast, the one where we go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the jazz, all wrestling that is WWE. Sorry Eric. But right now we're gonna kick off with Monday Night Raw.
How do I describe Raw in one simple sentence?
Uninteresting.
Very uninteresting. But I think I would rather see a bunch of drunk bums outside of a bar puking. That would be more entertaining than watching this Raw this week.
Now, see, I did not get to watch the Raw of Monday nights this week, as I was hanging out with my good friend George Jefferson, the giraffe.
The giraffe?
The giraffe.
The giraffe? Like tall?
Yes, he's a giraffe. He was reincarnated as a giraffe.
Oh.
He was having some marital problems with his wife Marilyn Monroe, the rhinoceros. So I had to step in and be the good friend that I am. And I had to miss Monday Night Raw. I had to miss it.
So George Jefferson became a giraffe, and would that make him Melman now? Is he a hypochondriac?
The rhino was too horny.
I don't know this Melman you speak of. I don't.
Well, I heard something there that was like, oh, well, I need to... Nope.
Still don't know this Melman.
Well, the show kicked off with Kurt Angle in the ring. That's what happened. He discussed the Money in the Bank, that there were going to be 2 qualifying matches this evening. One for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and then the other for the men's Money in the Bank. With Ember Moon in a triple threat match, along with Ruby Riott and Sasha Banks. And for the men, it would be Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn versus Boring Grains. You're welcome, Nell. And shortly after that is when Braun Strowman's music hits. Him saying that he wants a shot in a Money in the Bank match, to then be interrupted by Kevin Owens saying, no, I deserve an opportunity. Me and Sammy got screwed over. I wasn't even the legal man. Which he wasn't the legal man when he got pinned. Which then he ended up sparking Kurt, pissing Kurt off a little bit, and Kurt putting them in a qualifying match.
I believe there was something I heard about Braun committing murder as a child.
Okay, no, it wasn't murder. So, what had happened was, Braun Strowman...
He beat up some treehouses.
It wasn't so much a treehouse. All the kids in the neighborhood.
He dismantled the treehouse. The kids who were inside were just unfortunate victims.
He took the whole tree down.
Yeah, and the kids who were inside the treehouse, unfortunate victims.
You don't know if they died or lived, or maybe they broke an arm or two.
You know, maybe they should have invited Braun Strowman into their treehouse.
Exactly.
So it wasn't murder. It was
manslaughter at the very least.
It was absolutely self-defense of his honor.
Fair.
Ah, yes, to defend one's honor.
It's important.
I understand.
And Braun Strowman's a big dude. He's got a lot of honor.
He does, and that led to Kevin Owens getting his ass kicked. But honestly, I was very surprised because Kevin Owens actually put on a lot of offense in this match. I was surprised at how much offense KO put on.
He also ran like a bitch.
What I read in the review was that Kevin Owens used a lot of trickery and haberdasheries.
He did.
And I could see the whole heel face dynamic of it being that he's trying to outsmart the monster, but
I mean, to be fair, to beat someone like Braun Strowman, you kind of gotta use trickery and haberdashery.
You do, because Braun Strowman
Haberdasheries and hemoglobins, yes.
is absolutely what they call him, the monster among men himself. He is just disastrous in that ring and destroys anything in his way.
No one that big should move that fast.
Oh my god, I love when he runs around that ring and just bulldozes people
No
over.
one that big should run that fast. He knocked Kevin Owens down 3 times in a span of like 30 seconds. Just like poof, poof, poof. And I was like, Kevin Owens is gonna knock his head against this mat and just die. That's all that's gonna happen. There will be a murder.
Oh yeah. But it ended with Strowman winning, going on to advance to go into the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Even though it should have been Kevin Owens.
To be fair, I don't think Braun Strowman's gonna need a ladder to reach the briefcase.
No, they're gonna have to raise that. They're gonna have to figure something out there. Because he can just probably grab it.
He's not gonna be climbing a ladder though, let's be real. We're gonna see Braun Strowman try to climb a ladder and they're gonna be like, boink.
I would
and
like
knock
to
it
see Brother Strowman do a moonsault off the top of a ladder.
He could do a Salida
He
del
probably
Sol.
might do it.
Salida del Sol from the ladder.
He's gonna stand up on that ladder, Braun, and then
Jump.
moonsault. But after that,
If he can.
the next match on the card was actually No Way Jose and Titus Worldwide versus the Revival and Baron Corbin. This match was super boring, to be honest.
Well, they're already treating Jose like a joke.
They already are, and that's exactly. And he took the pin after some.
Haberdasheries and
tomfoolery.
hemoglobins.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be real though. Any match that Baron Corbin's in, it's boring. Like the minute his music plays, it's like, wow, this is the most entertaining I'll ever be during.
I
this
really
whole
like his
thing.
finisher, but
Yeah, I love his. But, like, that's the whole issue with this card. Like, even the entire show itself, even, like, the backstage segments were boring. So, like, that's why I'm just skipping out the backstage segments, because they literally had no relevance whatsoever.
Ah, yes, Prince Sedain and Princess Freya, locked on the outside. You must go play with your own friends.
can't we just let them in?
Look for which friend of yours is around at this time of day? Look for John F. Kennedy the Bird.
Okay, well then there became a next qualifying match with Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, and Ruby Riott. This match was actually a pretty good match going all around. Obviously, Ruby Riott was out there with the Riott Squad. They kept intervening, and because it was a triple threat, that means no disqualifications, and at one point they started attacking Sasha Banks. This is where it took a turn, because Bayley came out for the rescue her. So I kind of want to see where they're gonna go with that. Are they like putting a stop to what the hell was going on, because it wasn't catching any steam whatsoever, the whole Banks Bayley rivalry? But what ended up happening during that distractions out there, Ember Moon was able to hit the Eclipse on Ruby Riott for the 1, 2, 3, and going on to the Money in the Bank women's match. Like I said, I like the match. It was a good match. I've seen a lot worse, aka anything with Roman Reigns in it, aka anything with Jinder Mahal. And that's what I'm worried about going forward now, because of Jinder Mahal, who had a backstage segment with Kurt Angle. Once again, started talking shit to Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle was like, well, you have an opponent tonight anyways, because he wanted to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match instead of Roman Reigns.
Who was with? There was somebody with Kurt when Jinder came to start talking shit, and I just can't remember.
Oh, who what? Yeah, there was.
Oh, I believe it was
Somebody was
Brother Ryder, no?
Yes.
Yes, it was
yes. Because that's right. He was like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, so
Jinder.
Brother Zachary, yes.
No. Brother Kurt said that to Jinder.
Yes, I'm saying he was with Brother Zachary.
Yeah. But so Jinder was like, what do you mean I have a match? He was like, yeah, against the guy who beat you a couple weeks ago, Chad Gable. So him and Chad Gable had a match.
It was boring.
Very boring. but somehow it got a good rating on some other sites. He ended up hitting the Colossus and beating him. Because he almost actually got rolled up again on a couple occasions. But then we had the tag team match with Heath Slater and Rhino versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler.
Burying Slater and Rhino.
Hard, because once
Burying
again...
them.
No, I did see that that super kick. That hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt a lot.
Yeah. And like I said the last few podcasts about this, I absolutely love the Claymore into the zigzag. It is so perfect. The way they do it is just on point. They don't miss a step with it either. Then we had Bobby Roode versus Elias again. Elias was gonna start his segment and then was interrupted by Bobby Roode. Sure enough. What ended up happening was... honestly, this was probably a better match than the last couple they had. Elias showed a lot of offense, and Bobby Roode showed offense. It wasn't no dominating force, and then the other getting a dirty win or something like that. They actually put on a good match together, with Bobby Roode taking the win over Elias. And then we had Seth Rollins versus Mojo Rawley, which what it seems is Seth Rollins is going to continue to make the Intercontinental title relevant. I think he's going to start doing like the open challenges things back in the day like Cena used to do with the US title.
I heard that's what was announced, that he was going to be doing opening challenges.
That's exactly what he did do for that match.
Mm-hmm.
And I missed the entire match because I was outside arguing with someone about ice cream. So, I had my priorities in line. I came back and I was like, why is Seth Rollins fighting him? And my dad was just like, well, he ran his mouth and he's who answered. And I was like, oh,
Yep.
all right. There we go.
And honestly, it was a really good match too. Seth made Mojo look really good here.
Mojo's kind of like a big ram in the ring.
He is, and that's why Seth doesn't get enough credit for what he does either. Because if he can make Mojo look good, he can make anybody look good in that ring, I think.
Because Mojo is power, not technique.
Exactly. And I give it a good rating. That was probably one of the best matches of the night. I give it number 2 most likely at this point because of the main event with Finn Balor and Sami Zayn.
And Roman. He was part
Finn
of that
Balor
match.
and Sami Zayn.
And Roman.
Then there was another tag match with Matt and Bray. Yourself, Broken. Your broken brother, Matt.
Yes, Broken Matt. He's a good, dear friend of mine. I truly admire everything he's doing over there on the main roster. I'm proud of him.
Yep. Well, they faced the former Miz Taraj because it seems they have officially finally broken them up as being the Miz Taraj.
What music did they play when they came down, though? Because I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either.
Oops.
I completely missed them coming out.
Or did they just get a jobber's entrance?
It's quite possible.
Because I think they might have gotten a jobber entrance on TV. Because I think they went cut to commercial and then came back to Woken Matt's
It's possible.
music. I think that's exactly what happened.
I think so too. But it was basically a feeding to Bray and Matt. And then we had the Money in the Bank qualifier, Roman, Sammy, and Finn. It was a good match because Balor and Zayn actually got Roman out into the crowd and kept him out there for a while so they could actually be themselves in that ring without him there. He came in later on being the dominating force that he is, air quotes, and he hit the Superman punch on Sammy, was going to go for the spear, and then Jinder Mahal comes into play and pulls his feet, smacking the ground, leading up to Finn Balor winning with the coup de grace and going on to the Money in the Bank.
My favorite thing about that match was actually the coup de grace that happened in the crowd. Because I love Finn Balor so much, but he did not hit that. He did not hit it. But where it was just dark enough that you didn't see that he missed by 3 feet. I knew because I could see Roman's leg. But if you were in the crowd, you're not going to notice that he completely missed that. And I was like, ooh, Finn. But nice, convenient location to completely miss that.
Yeah.
But I'm also really happy because I wanted Finn to win. And I was worried that in a match with Roman in it, for something like Money in the Bank, they were going to completely skip Finn.
No.
But a lot of people are predicting Finn to actually just win Money in the Bank, and I would love that with all of my little heart.
I would love to, but if they do that, it's gonna be for him to turn heel.
Now, my only problem with all of this, if I have to choose between Finn Balor getting inside the Money in the Bank match and a Roman Reigns Jinder Mahal feud at the top of the Raw card,
I'd rather have Roman in that Money in the Bank.
exactly.
I would rather have Roman and Jinder in that Money in the Bank.
Why?
I don't want them in the main event.
Why?
There's a chance that they won't win that Money in the Bank.
Sir, hold on. I do not want both of them in the Money in the Bank. That is a problem for Disaster. They just need to not be in a main event feud on either show.
Mark my words. The main event of that match, the main event of Money in the Bank, is going to be AJ versus Shinsuke for the title. That's going to be the main event
as it
of
should
Money
be.
in the Bank.
As it should be.
Are you sure about that?
100%.
Why?
Because of the finish.
Oh, because of the finish.
Yes.
Explain why Roman's non-title match was the main event of Backlash.
Because you couldn't have a
What
double
else
count-out
was there in
finish for
Backlash?
AJ.
Tell me, what else was better in Backlash?
Backlash was
Everything
a garbage
was
show.
the
I went and
same
watched
thing.
it after, and it was
Seth Rollins was the best part about Backlash.
Right, but you need something to open the show.
Seth Rollins is one of the best things that WWE has going for him
And
right now.
Brother
To be
AJ
fair,
and Brother Shinsuke could not close the show with that finish. It would not have been good. Everyone would have went home utterly upset.
Be pissed. Yeah.
But yet, what happened? Everybody went home utterly upset. They started leaving during the main event. You guys paid hundreds of dollars to be at this pay-per-view just to walk out because of the atrocity of a main event.
I mean, they were walking out because they wanted to beat traffic.
No, they were walking out because of the atrocity.
No,
of
I'm
the
sorry. I'm sorry. If you're walking out, you shouldn't be any type of fan. You're there to watch the show. Sit there and watch the damn show.
And
You pay money to watch the show.
And you know what the main event was going to be.
Right. By you leaving, you're disrespecting two wrestlers in the ring. Sure, you hate one, but you're also disrespecting the other. Samoa Joe going in there every day, wrestling, and he's in the main event, and now he sees in the crowd, everyone's like half gone. Like who the hell are you? To just walk away like that. You paid, or I guess I know what you do with your money. Oh, I'm gonna pay and then leave the show early because I already know what happens and I'm pissed off about it.
It was pretty predictable.
Give me a break.
Like honestly,
Backlash was
it was a joke. The
It was
entire
not
paper.
a good. The issue with Backlash, in my opinion, is that they filled the space up leading up to it with that stupid fucking Rumble.
Yeah, because it had no hype to it
Yep,
whatsoever.
they did not build any
I did
storylines.
not. I
Not
straight
at
up
all.
told you, like when you asked me if I watched it, I straight up was like, I forgot Backlash was this weekend.
Yeah, so did I.
Because of the stupid Rumble, I was like, all right, so I've got like 3 weeks till Backlash because that's how long it usually is between these events. And it's like, no, next week is Backlash, and it's like,
Oh.
oh,
Yeah.
so the feuds are just kind of like. But the thing about the Rumble was like we paused all of our feuds leading up to Backlash to build feuds for the Rumble, and now I'm supposed to feel something again for the feuds leading into Backlash. And now I'm supposed to be reacting to the results of the Backlash, which were garbage. So, like, Raw was not good this week, guys.
No, it wasn't.
I think I missed a full 45 minutes of Raw and don't care.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because I usually watch Raw completely.
I do too, and this week I literally skimmed through it because I caught the YouTube recaps before I was gonna watch the show, and I'm like, wow, I am not wasting 3.5 hours of my life right now. So I skimmed it, and it was just as bad as I expected it to be at that point.
I watched it. I went to the store with my mother to go get ice cream and stuff. Decided not to get ice cream at the store. Went home, ordered ice cream, and then spent 45 minutes arguing on the phone about ice cream. So I missed a good chunk of it. And I don't feel bad that I missed it, which is sad. Because normally I'm like, yeah, I don't want to miss Raw. Even if it's kind of bad, it's still fun to watch. Raw was not fun to watch this week.
No.
It was cringy at best.
Very cringy. And I saw no direction for anything
It's
besides...
not leading up to anything, which kind of blows. Although, Ember Moon getting to be in the women's Money in the Bank match is the best thing that happened all night.
Right.
Because Ember Moon deserves it, and I'm so glad we're not going to have to potentially see Sasha Banks with that briefcase. Because I'm sorry, but no, don't do this to me. Let it go.
See, but
Let it
but don't forget, there's gonna be more qualifying matches now where
But
Sasha will have an opportunity.
She lost her qualifying match.
But do notice they usually have a last entry battle royal.
Yeah, they usually have like we have
A
one
second
spot
chance,
left.
yeah.
Here you go.
Well, maybe they'll let that second chance
That's
be like
why-
Sasha versus Bayley.
That's why right now, if it's plain and obvious who's gonna win the men's Royal Rumble, a men's Money in the Bank, I can see what the main event of Money in the Bank is gonna be. But if I notice that there's more high-profile wrestlers in this Money in the Bank, I may change my opinion on who I think would win. But I need to see who qualifies.
Because it's gonna be 4 and 4 from each brand.
Yeah.
So we have 2 from Raw for the men's. We have 1 for the women's.
As of right now, to me, it's super obvious who's winning it. But I need to see the other people who qualify.
Well, as other qualifiers go for this Money in the Bank match, Smackdown, the live version of Smackdown, opened up with Sister Paige, the manager in general of Smackdown, the live version. And she announced Jeff Hardy versus The Miz as a qualifier, Charlotte versus Peyton Royce, and Daniel Bryan versus Rusev as a qualifier, all for the Money in the Bank.
Do you know where this SmackDown was held? Where it was held? Like what city it was?
It was in Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, it was Baltimore? That was a
Baltimore?
quiet crowd for Baltimore.
That was a shitty crowd.
Baltimore's usually not that
And
quiet.
to put it more on the shitty crowd, when Paige is about to talk and you have a fan
Doing this in the
back
background.
doing that while she's trying to talk, like, come on.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me for Baltimore.
It doesn't surprise me that Baltimore had a riot one time. Let's put it that way.
I will also point out that Paige called Backlash a smashing success.
Smashing. Simply smashing.
It was smashing.
Something got smashed.
But it was there that it was confirmed about the Money in the Bank matches that we would only have 2. One men's and one women's, not a Raw and a SmackDown. Mm-hmm. And whichever superstar wins, she said, will take the briefcase back to their brand. So she did not specify that they could cash in on any champion. She just specified they would take it back to their brand. So then, the show opened up with Brother Nero. My good friend, Brother Nero. And the wannabe A-lister, The Miz. Now, as the match went on, it was a very good opener match. Very good TV match. And the ending came when Jeff Hardy finally hit the Swanton Bomb. And after a 2 count, The Miz turned his lazy cover into a crucifix pin. Mm-hmm. And got the cover, and The Miz is now in the Money in the Bank, which he so rightfully deserves, as Jeff Hardy does not need the Money in the Bank. He is the United States champion. Why would he need Money in the Bank?
To have 2 championships. To be fair. To have 2. 1 for each bicep to
I
carry.
can see a vein popping through.
Oh my god, there is one though, like right in the middle of the forehead.
Now that you mention it, I don't remember the last time somebody carried 2 championships other than Seth Rollins.
Before him, I believe it was Triple H, actually.
Yeah, so it's
Well,
been a long time.
1 on each bicep.
Yeah, they tend to not have multiple championships on one person. That's a TNA thing.
Hey, we can't talk about
Who?
That's a Dixie
Impact
Carter thing.
Wrestling now.
Well, I heard they're hiring either way. As Miz celebrated, we went to the back, and Sheamus was eating some Lucky Charms. Racist.
So are all the Irish people just eating off camera? Is that
Actually,
what's happening? 'Cause
I'm glad you mentioned TNA. I found out why.
I thought it was Impact.
Well, Impact. I found out why they can actually have been mentioning it more and more lately. I guess
it's
there was
under a
actually
different
a
brand.
video package from WWE the other day that actually showed a video package with AJ Styles and Kurt Angle at Impact.
Well, they have a deal with them because they're working on
Getting
video for Jeff and Matt. They're working on this giant like history on them, and they needed video from TNA. And not even that, they're doing like a whole package with the Dudley Boys too.
Mm-hmm.
But they need Bully Ray to see how he did as a single star.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like the deal that they're going with, and they can mention them more and not be so vague about it.
Because that's... I was reading something the other day about what we can expect when Triple H takes over the company, and it was like being able to talk about the indies on regular TV, and indie stars coming over to WWE and keeping their names and stuff like that. Because I feel like that's what Triple H is gonna work towards, is getting a partnership with all of the indie companies.
That is a wonderful idea. Yes. But as we were saying, Brother Sheamus, the pasty mayonnaise, he was eating some Lucky Charms to make himself feel better about losing to Brother Woods, Brother Creed, Brother Austin, whichever brother he would like to be, because he has too many names. Brother Up, Down, Down.
That could be multiple people.
Down, up, down.
That could be him, or it could be Mikaze.
No, he is Brother Up, Down, Down. Mikaze is Brother Mikaze. That's just it. What are you? An idiot? So,
You know what happens
Sheamus then blames it
when you call me
on
idiot?
on Big E and Kofi Kingston for losing his match. Cesaro says that would not have happened if it was him and not Sheamus. So then it sets up for a match between Brother Pasty Mayonnaise at ringside with the Cyborg of Swiss descent against Brother Up, Down, Down with the Day of New in his corner. After that, once again, Brother Shinsuke forgot how to speak English. Or as Brother Shinsuke would put it, English.
Oh boy.
Yes, it's rather unfortunate that he would forget to speak English as such. I feel for this man.
Here's the thing. Every time I hear someone who's not him say English, I go, oh, that sounds so racist when we say it.
Sorry, no speak English.
It's like every time someone who's not, like, legitimately having an accent problem when they say it says it, I'm just kind of going, ooh, that sounds so racist.
Brother Nakamura said that AJ was nuts, ironically. But he also said that they are not finished.
You guys remember Jinder Mahal? Speaking of racist, sorry, just to put an
The
off thing
the
here.
Brother Jinder promos on Brother Nakamura.
He was like, "Y'all look the same." I'm like, "Wow!" And the crowd chants, "That was too far. That's too far. That's too far."
I
I'm pretty
can't
sure-
believe they allowed that.
Pretty sure the crowd at one point
I believe
started
it.
yelling racist.
That smelled of Vince McMahon. That whole Jinder Mahal's promo.
Oh, hell yeah, it did. You know how the Money in the Bank, there were rumors of there being tag? And them saying that the Ascension mentioned that they were going to be in the tag team Money in the Bank? I forgot to mention that. I watched that promo. They didn't mention anything about a tag team Money in the Bank in that promo.
Yes, because I don't remember seeing anything about specific tag team Money in the Banks. I remember them having tag teams in the video.
It's
Yeah.
it's definitely
The
coming.
Ascension actually caught like a pretty decent promo during Raw, where they were like, "Hey, we're gonna turn this into the Wasteland," and I was like, "Oh man, are we gonna take the Ascension seriously?" Because they weren't they weren't associated with Breezango nowhere in sight.
Psych.
Well, they were in the same video package, just a couple spots ahead.
But what I mean is, like, it wasn't anything stupid for them,
Yeah.
and they actually like looked like they were trying to be scary again, and I was like, "Pause. Are we actually gonna take them seriously?" No,
No.
probably not. I can guarantee you, probably not.
We will never, ever
I'll do
take
like
the Ascension serious
I will
again.
do like 4 shots in a row if they're ever taken seriously.
Send them back to NXT, please. For the love of God.
This then led to a promo by the moonwalking, trash-talking princess of Staten Island, Carmella, about beating Charlotte, which she was obnoxious, but she's really good at being obnoxious.
That is her point.
Yep.
She's supposed to be Staten Island. They're obnoxious.
Touche. Now, this led to the match between Sister Flair and Sister Royce to qualify for the Money in the Bank. A couple of really good spots. One of the spots, which I have not seen Charlotte do this spot in a long time. Charlotte went for the big boot, missed. Peyton went for the roundhouse kick, missed. Charlotte went down for a split and turned Peyton over and rolled over and had a really decent roll-up on her with a bridge. Which, that was the only spot that really stuck out. The only thing about this match that I'm kind of confused with is the fact that Charlotte beat Peyton for the Money in the Bank spot. Not because I love Peyton Royce. Has nothing to do with that. Because Peyton or Billy, whichever one it would have been, would have need the more higher profile match other than Charlotte does.
And there's another thing there. Charlotte is actually going to be taking time off and might not be at Money in the Bank. She might not be there because she's getting surgery. Because she ruptured an implant. Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Like a boob
Dear
implant?
Lord.
Yes, she ruptured her implant, and apparently...
What other implant? Which
But
yeah.
Charlotte definitely does not have a butt implant.
No.
Nah, she's pretty flat.
Yeah.
Pretty flat in the back.
But yeah, she
gonna
ruptured
say
an
that.
implant before WrestleMania, actually. And the only
Is
reason...
that why she looks a little lopsided?
Yeah. She's been putting it off because she didn't want to not have her match at WrestleMania with Asuka. And, like, it's gotten to the point where she said, I need to get this done now. So I just read this yesterday, I think. So I think there's going to be something coming up where she's
gonna
not
be
going to
really
have her
hurt.
spot at Money in the Bank.
Well, either way, it was a rather wasteful win for Charlotte, especially if she's not going to be there.
Yeah.
But alas, then that led to Daniel Bryan being interviewed backstage by Sister Dasha and asked about how he was doing from Big Cass's attack afterwards, and he was really selling the ribs, but he was not going to miss this opportunity to be in the Money in the Bank and cash it in a second time, which the first time was actually in Baltimore that he cashed it in, on the Big Show, on a stack of chairs.
oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
Now after that, Brother Woods finally came to face Brother Cesaro in what was a decent match. Sheamus ran off the rest of the New Day, and when Woods went to get the elbow from the top rope, Cesaro hit him with the uppercut. 1, 2, 3. Brother Cesaro wins. And it's announced next week that being broken is an awful, awful thing, and I hope none of you have to ever do it. It is announced next week that we will have the New Day versus The Bar. It's been so long, I forgot what their name was.
Because...
There's stipulation to that though. Did you get to it?
I mean, you can get to it if you want to interrupt.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
It's
just go on.
Oh wow, okay, I can see how it is. But I thought it was pretty interesting that a member of the Bar will take on a member of the New Day. The winner gets to be in the Money in the Bank. So whatever member decides to, I don't think it's gonna be Sheamus or Cesaro. I think it's gonna be a member of the New Day.
All right, so I have a question. Is it because it's not like limited to what champion you crash it on in terms of on your brand?
Well,
Because they said they were bringing it, like you'd bring it back to your brand, but it didn't go like to challenge their main champion. So if a member of a tag team wins and they bring the briefcase home, do they then get to cash that in on a tag team?
I think with the Money in the Bank, you can cash in on any champion.
It's any
of your
champion.
choice. But that's my thing, too, is why waste that on a tag team champion cash-in? Like, that's why I don't understand the whole point of putting tag teams in the Money in the Bank unless you're planning on splitting them up. Like Cesaro and Sheamus, this is the perfect opportunity to split them up if this is the case.
This is also something that the New Day could do too. This whole like heavy rumor on Big E going for a singles run. Can you imagine Big E winning the briefcase?
Though to be fair, if the New Day did that, one of them could still cash in on like a normal champion, and then they can still run for tag titles.
Exactly.
There are 3 of them.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yes.
There are 3
exactly.
of them, so they could technically have 3 belts amongst them,
That's true. Yeah.
which would be amazing to see. But that's just because I think the New Day are really funny. So if they came out going like, "You're 5-time tag team champions, and you're Intercontinental champion, and you're yada yada champion," I'd be like, "Look at them with all that gold, look at all those belts."
They will never get all that gold,
Instead
unfortunately.
of throwing like pancakes or
Hey, leave the
Pancakes
flapjacks out of this.
a cereal, or pelting people with unknown objects, they can just brag about their belts again. Which honestly, I think would be better for them to be back to bragging about being champions and not being like, "Here's our ridiculous brand endorsement."
I believe they are Pancake Crusaders, yes.
Do you think pancakes need a crusade?
Pancakes are the most delicious of all the breakfast foods.
Did somebody say something about pancakes?
Okay, but what about waffles?
Waffles are better.
Pancakes.
Waffles.
I already stated my case.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
I'm more of a French toast guy myself. But...
If they go for if the New Day goes for all the belts, right? Could we see a fourth member go to New Day?
No way, Jose.
Yeah, I really would love to see No Way Jose be part of New Day.
That's not possible. Opposite brands.
Well, I mean, he can always jump.
The Day of New collides with the worldwide Titus brand.
Oh, God.
It'll be a New Day worldwide.
Can we just get the Nation of Domination?
As we were originally supposed to get with this New Day.
That's
I mean,
exactly.
we got the League of
If
whatever.
if I know what New Day
Nope.
was like then,
Okay.
Stop it. No.
I prefer New Day over Nation.
I would rather have
Oh, but
Nation
come
of
on.
Domination.
Knowing what New Day has done and all the segments
The
that
Rock.
they did. Okay.
Farouk.
All right.
D'Lo Brown.
Because they became main big names. So you tell me that if Big E, Kofi, and Xavier don't go after big titles and become, like make a legacy for them, they're gonna be like, "Wow, I wish they could have done a New Day." Big E, Kofi, Xavier. Those guys at that time weren't really like main staple guys. They were just a form of guys who created a stable.
And that's what they did with the New Day.
Right.
But it was actually supposed to be like a reincarnation of the Nation of Domination.
It was. It was.
'Twas the night before Christmas.
And all through the house. Not
It
a
is
creature was
May.
stirring, not even a mouse.
A mouse.
It's May.
It's gonna be May.
At least he aimed for your stomach.
That hurts too.
Well, it's not. It's easy to hit. Stomach is a big target. The other, not so much.
I'll get you the sniper rifle. Boink.
You not even a telescope.
Now that the microscope is out of the way. Afterwards, this led to Brother Styles backstage. Yes. Brother Styles was interviewed by Renee about Brother Shinsuke this time around, and he said the same thing, that he was not done with Brother Shinsuke, and he would put him away once and for all, but we won't know how yet. This then led to Sister Lynch versus Sister Rose.
I don't want to talk about it.
Once again, we had Sister Paige confirming that Absolution is dead. And Sonya was banned from ringside. Mandy came out to this weird, like, porn actress music. It was rather weird, especially for my taste.
80s.
Someone with a mustache was just bound to pop out at some point. Fucking 80s porn stash.
And aviator shades?
Yep.
Like Hot Fuzz a little bit.
There wasn't much to this match.
I'm very pissed.
I'm so mad.
Mandy went over
Clean!
clean, and
Why are they burying Becky Lynch?
Turn Becky heel.
that is the only way that this match would have been
Be
worth
the
something.
leader of Absolution.
If they are pushing slowly towards this Becky Hill turn, then when that happens, I will look back and say, this was a good decision.
Mm-hmm.
But if this leads nowhere, this was awful. Awful dirt.
Absolution
Awful
needs a
booking.
leader and a new name.
And when Mandy won, no reaction.
Well, yeah, it's Baltimore.
They're usually not that bad.
They
They're
were
not
bad
great,
that
but
night.
they were super bad.
I think it's because they've been tuning into New Japan and Ring of Honor, which I told Mel, can we discuss about me dropping Raw and picking up New Japan and Ring of Honor previews?
No.
Damn it!
The accent, man. It's catchy.
A catchy?
No, not a catchy.
Oh, you're not gonna, I was about to say, you're not gonna hit him, though?
I knew that was gonna. I looked at him like, aha.
I knew it was coming sooner or later, but that was the moment for it to happen.
That was his
We also-
decision.
Now, at this point, we found out that Brother Cien Almas will debut in
Yay!
London next week.
Finally, maybe a Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Hopefully, a Money in the Bank
Hopefully.
qualifier.
I hope so.
This then led to our main event. Rusev Day versus Brother Brian. Yes, the goat. The goat beard, yes. They sold Daniel Bryan's ribs heavily, as he did as well. The match came down to Daniel Bryan getting hit. He went for a missile dropkick, sold his ribs, went for another flying knee, but he got launched up and got a knee to the ribs, followed by a Machka kick to the ribs. 1, 2, 3. Rusev is in Money in the Bank.
Was there no sign of Big Cass?
No.
in that entire SmackDown. That's weird.
There was no sign of Big Cass, no sign of the
Joe.
Bludgeon Brothers, no sign of Samoa Joe, no
Usos.
Usos.
I haven't seen the Bludgeon Brothers
Since
Greatest Royal Rumble.
yes, them and the Usos.
Didn't the Usos cut a promo last week?
I don't remember.
They were in the video package.
Yeah. But, like, what's going on here?
Maybe someone broke something.
We are featuring more of the New Day in the Bar than our tag team champions.
I mean,
And I have an interesting thought about Andrade. If he does have a Money in the Bank qualifying match and he wins that match, imagine him winning the Money in the Bank and cashing in on Aleister Black.
because technically, is he still technically considered NXT?
He can cash in on anyone.
But he takes
Well,
it
no,
to his
because they
brand.
said they're taking it back to their respective
So
brands.
if that's the case, they need to do the whole separate Money in the Banks like they used to back in the day where there were 2 briefcases.
Apparently, that's not the case this time around.
So, Big Cass is in a world of trouble
Of course he is.
with Vince McMahon.
Why?
Because I was reading, I was like, why? There's no reason for Big Cass not to be in that match. Not to be even showing up. So the segment on May 1st, when he hit the big boot on the impersonator, Daniel Bryan, the small guy, he was supposed to do one big boot and then walk away. What did we see? Big Cass beat the crap out of this little guy.
Yeah.
He went. He was so angry and pissed off that he went to Above Creative, went to Vince McMahon and said, "I'm not just gonna hit him with a big boot. I should destroy him." And Vince says, "No, big boot. You do your thing, and then you walk away." And Big Cass did the opposite of what Vince McMahon told him.
So he broke.
So, and now it's saying that all reports show
Did he
that
actually hit the guy?
that he did more moves than he was supposed to do. One big boot and that's it. And he kept doing more moves on him. And so now
But the little guy obviously wasn't prepared for that.
yeah, probably not. It was probably all like he probably told the little guy what he was gonna do next.
He was probably like, "I'm about to suplex you in the next month."
And so according to a couple people backstage who doing reports and do all like the whole like segment for the shows, saying that Big Cass's push is like gone. It's no more. Because Vince is like, that's it, you're in the doghouse until you get out from here.
Shit.
He personally went to Vince McMahon, told him that he thinks that he should do this instead. Vince says, no, big boot, put your hand in the air, and then you walk out. And he didn't do that.
Well, I guess we'll be seeing Enzo back soon. Because that was actually something I read today, too. Because all the charges and everything got dropped. Because they literally had nothing on him. The reason he was released was because he didn't tell WWE that about the charges. But now that everything's dropped, the man can sell shirts, and Vince loves people who can sell shirts.
Enzo was a huge part of that. Enzo didn't even need to sell shirts. He just sell his those stupid like those
the little toupees.
yeah those hat things, and that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, that was Smackdown, the live version of it. And I believe this leads us on to the developmental territory.
205 Live.
Ah, yes, I forgot. We have her back.
So 205 Live. Did you guys know that was filmed on Tuesdays and is actually live? 'Cause someone,
What?
Yeah.
205 Live is live?
Yeah.
That
Holy
sounds...
crap!
That's just wonderful! Yeah.
Alright, so the Baltimore crowd did not help with this show either.
No.
I have never seen less people lucha in my life because 205 Live starts with a lucha house party. And I'm excited. I'm watching 205 and I'm doing the stupid lucha thing. And the crowd is dead. And I've never seen Kalisto come out of a dead crowd.
It's Baltimore.
Yeah, but I have never witnessed a dead crowd for the lucha. And that's what happened. And it was Grand Metalik and the Lince Dorado versus freaking, Brian Kendrick and, what's his face?
Gentleman Jack Gallagher.
Yeah, the little tiny white, like, British man with the hard head.
I love Brian Kendrick so much.
I do too.
Agreed.
I really like these two as a tag team. They actually work really well together, and I was not expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a really good match, sort of. It's the only match I caught the entirety of. I kept zoning out for the rest of the show. The only thing that stands out to me, unfortunately, is Kalisto had these party clackers. And every time he was trying to get the crowd hyped, because they tried so hard to get the crowd into this. Like, when Grand Metalik was in the ring, Lince Dorado was on the side, luchaing, trying to get the crowd to, like, cheer for Grand Metalik, dead.
In my opinion, they got it wrong, in my opinion. After SmackDown's over, in my opinion, people are like, okay, great, we're done. And then there's a dark match all the way at the end, and then there's, before the dark match, 205 Live. They need to put 205 Live at 7. So that way, people are hyped for SmackDown, they get this nice pre-show, and then SmackDown starts. After SmackDown, it's kind of like people, like...
They're not going to put it beforehand, though, because a lot of people don't sit down until almost 8 o'clock.
That's fine. But if you want to sit down... So it's still going to be an
empty crowd.
Well, I mean, not as... but the thing I'm trying to say is that people will be more hyped because they're like, excited, it's wrestling, versus people, like, tired, and some of them are already leaving, you know?
I've always felt like the 205 Live crowd seemed more intimate, because the people who stay for 205 Live are the people who are interested in 205 Live. And it's not just people who are like, oh, well, I have to sit through this. What sucked, though, is that the people who stayed were not into it. There was one moment where Grand Metalik and the Golden Lynx went for a stereo super kick, and they were like, oh, man, they're in stereo. Grand Metalik's kick went off, like, 4 seconds late. It was not in stereo. It was, like, kick. And then they both did, like, their dive out of the thing. And Kalisto climbs up the stairs with his party clackers, and he's striking a pose, swinging the clackers like a madman at a soccer game. And I'm like, what am I watching right now? Why has Kalisto got 2 party clackers in his hand? I know it's supposed to be the Lucha House Party, but this just makes them look ridiculous. And it makes it really hard to take them seriously. And my only other moment that I really enjoyed from that match was when, and this is beforehand, Lince Dorado had Jack in like a headlock in between his knees, and Jack kept trying to do like a handstand, and every time he went to go pull himself up, Lince Dorado just pushed on his butt to knock him back over. And they went back and forth with that for like 25 seconds, and I was like, what is happening here? Why are we doing this? I'm not gonna take this seriously. This feels like a waste of everybody in that ring's talent.
Yeah.
Because Jack is talented. His headbutts are no joke.
Ooh.
His drop kicks are no joke. Lince Dorado is amazing to watch in the ring. I watched him do all kinds of crazy flips on Tuesday, and it was entertaining. But spending your time going, I'm going to push your butt so you're not doing a handstand while I have your head between my knees, that's a waste. It was a waste on everybody's end, and it didn't bring anything to the thing. The most interesting thing to note about that is Drew Gulak was at ringside, watching it with extreme disapproval the whole time.
Was he on commentary?
He was on commentary, and he wasn't saying much, though. He was there. He would chip in every once in a while with his, like, grumpy self, but nothing came from it. He didn't get in the ring afterward. He didn't try to punch anybody. He didn't do nothing but watch. And I was expecting him to do something.
Yeah.
Like, because it was the house party with 3, Brian and Jack with just 2, so I was expecting something when the house party won.
Well, maybe...
Because the Luchas won, it was a weird pin, in my opinion, but it was a pin. And I was expecting Gulak to do something, and he didn't. And I was like, what's the point?
If you think about it, his style would very well complement the style of Kendrick and Gallagher.
Because they're not high flyers. They're not... Yeah. They're not...
Technical, hard hitters, yes.
They're not here to be, like, flashy. They're here to... Okay, they're small, and they're fast, and they hit weirdly hard. So maybe they would set up for a 3-on-3. That's what I was expecting to happen, and he did nothing. Nothing came out of that.
They're probably going to build towards that. Probably next week you'll see them in like a backstage segment.
But after the match, there was a really cool promo from Mustafa Ali. And the only line I remember word for word out of it is because he was talking smack about Buddy Murphy, and he was telling Murphy that he's going to have his chance. He's going to do his thing. And he told Buddy, he's like, we have 2 options here. Either you get out of my way, or I will make you. And I was excited because I was like, oh man, are we going to see Mustafa Ali being a badass? Because he's a good dude. He's a good kid. He works real hard. He's really good in the ring. Unfortunately, not the case later on that night.
Nope.
Because was the next match the
Tony Nese against the Jobber.
Yeah, it was.
But honestly, surprisingly, the local Jobber did a little bit of offense, but at the end,
it's still a Jobber match. Let's go, Jobber. Not impressive.
No.
Nothing good came out of it.
Tony Nese destroyed that poor child.
Tony Nese is going to. You don't fuck with Tony Nese.
No.
Honestly, the Cruiserweights deserve a lot more credit in general for
facts.
how
They don't get
talented
enough
they are.
credit.
But
And that's why I'm glad Triple H is taking over, because it's going in the right direction now.
I'm glad they're completely pulled from Raw. Let
Yeah.
all of their development happen on 205. Please, for the love of God, keep them off the main roster stuff. Because it doesn't do them justice, and the crowd does not care.
And I kind of like what they're doing, because it seems like 205 is going to be its slow...
Like, you still see some mentions on Raw, but it's becoming its own brand at this point, and I love every minute of that.
And then I believe next...
I think was... Because usually it only has 3 matches.
It has 3 matches.
Yes.
So next there was a backstage... It was a backstage thing.
Yeah.
With Cedric Alexander and the general manager.
Yeah.
And Cedric... And the manager was like, hey, you're not going to interfere with our main event. And Cedric was like, no, dude. I made my statement. Well, he made his statement. I made mine. Let Ali make his. Which was cool. And then he got told, hey, next week we're gonna be in London. So you're going to get to see the UK superstars. And Cedric was like, well, tell them to bring their best. And the general manager made a face. It was such a sourpuss look. Because very clearly, here's this British man being told, well, your guys might not be good enough for us.
Yeah, because...
So that'll be an interesting clash. I'm kind of excited for it.
I can't wait to see this. I hope they're going to have Cedric versus Pete Dunne.
I'm really excited for it. And then the main event happened, and it was Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali, and I wish I liked the match more. Like, it wasn't...
What?
I wish I liked it more. It was a really good match in terms of, like, what I saw, but I feel like Mustafa Ali talking the game he did could have done more. I felt like it felt kind of flat based off the promo.
Brother Ali, he never puts on extensive offense.
They were good. It was a good match. He did.
Put on a lot of offense, and so did Buddy Murphy.
But it's Buddy Murphy, and I guess they're just not letting him beat Buddy Murphy again, because they were like, he beat Buddy Murphy that one time. But then last week, he had the total knockout. And he got hit hard this week. He got, what, like, 2? Like, of the,
The power, 3.
3 power bombs.
3.
He ate, like, 3 power bombs. And they were like, are you okay? Are you alright? And he got up.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him that he got back up, but I would have been a little happier if he got to, if he had managed to pull that win off again. Because now what it feels like is this rivalry that they're building up between these two, which could be really interesting, isn't going to be. Because it's going to be Buddy Murphy being like, well, you beat me once. That's all you're getting.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he had beat him again, it would add a little bit to it. And it felt kind of flat for me, because it felt like Mustafa, if he had won again, would be like, listen, it wasn't a one-time fluke. I can do it again. But what it feels like now is it feels like they're just going, good job, Ali. You did it once.
See,
you talk a big game. You try. Good kid.
For me, I can see where they're going with it, because Mustafa Ali went for that 450 splash onto Buddy Murphy's arm again. But Buddy Murphy pulled his arm out of the way this time. And so I think that's them like saying, yeah, you're not ready for this yet. But that's opening Mustafa Ali's mind, being like, they're right. I need to start thinking better and not letting my energy get the best of me. And I think that's what they're leaning towards, is like another match with them too, because they put on a hell of a match.
It was a good match. I'm not saying like the match wasn't interesting or fun.
Yeah.
It was a really good match. I'm just saying that it feels like it's not adding anything to it other than like, well, now I need to get better, and it feels.
Well, the sound of it to me.
This could be really nerdy of me, but it sounds like they're trying to do the whole shonen manga thing, where it's like, now you've been beaten by your bad guy again. Go train. And get better. And develop this new power. It's like, don't develop
it sounds more to me like Brother Murphy learned from his past mistakes, and that's how they built it. And now they're 1-on-1. Which Brother Murphy, he's challenging for the title next, so he has to win.
Mm-hmm. He is fun to watch, so.
Therefore, now they're 1-on-1. They will have a rematch somewhere down the line, but we don't know how much longer it is
what
going
are
to
they
be
going to
before
do
that
with
rematch.
Mustafa Ali in the meantime? Poor kid's going to sit. Is he going to fight TJP when he comes back?
Who knows?
That's why I feel like the cruiserweights need to get a mid-card title over there, just because that way it keeps everybody relevant at that point. Because eventually we're going to be seeing their cruiserweight tag titles at some point.
That's the only reason that we're getting these stables. Oh, I forgot about the one thing. It was Akira and Itami. There was a segment about that.
Yeah, because last week
because
it's been
Hitami
leading up
cut
to
a promo Basically him saying he doesn't need anybody.
And that Akira made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, Akira accidentally hit you one time. And then you made Akira fall on his nuts. To be fair, you should be even.
Yeah.
One of you got kicked in the face, the other one hurt your balls. You're okay. Move on. But...
And Tozawa was just like, what
when,
did I do?
When they looked like they were... When... Last week when he shoved Akira like landed and looked at him like, what? Like he was confused because it was an honest mistake that he hit Itami. Like he obviously was not trying to kick him. So he looked like he was like, wait a second, what? Why aren't we friends anymore? Which made me feel sad inside my soul because they were actually really fun to watch together.
They were, but I think
it's also
putting
like
Tozawa back to being a face.
Yeah, I don't think Tozawa made a good bad guy in the first place.
No, I like him better as a face, and I think that's what they're leaning towards now. Because Hideo Itami makes I mix first name and last name. Oh, he makes a great heel. I love Hideo as a heel. So, and honestly, 205 needs more heels other than
Brian and Jack.
Yeah. Oh, and Buddy Murphy. And Gulak now.
That's the one I was trying.
But like they're just building more and more towards having multiple heels, and that's why I like, because you need more than one.
And that was 205, like in a nutshell. The main event was good, but like I said, I felt like it was the main event like match was just kind of like shonen manga-y. Well, now you need to build up your strength, but that's just me.
Anyone else for 205?
Anyone else got an opinion?
All right, cool. So, next up, we got NXT, which was a pretty good show. First up, we have Ricochet that comes out.
These bitches didn't tell me they were watching NXT, so I didn't watch it with them.
So, pretty much, Ricochet intends to take over the brand that redefines sports and entertainment. Each time he steps in the ring, he proves that he is the one and only. It says that the only thing that's on his mind besides his socks, because he showed up in like this suit but he didn't have any socks on, whatever, is the NXT champion, NXT championship. And then you hear Velveteen Dream's music hits.
DREAM, man.
And so he grabs a mic, and they show off on like as he's walking to the ring that he's been trolling Ricochet on Twitter and I think Instagram too, and he's just been like messaging him and saying stuff like that. But he asks who gave Ricochet authority to walk down the ring and start talking, who asked for NXT title opportunity, talking about talking over, I need you to take a step back. Dream references the one and only moniker, and the fans began chanting one and only. Dream enters the ring and says that there's one man, one experience, and you're looking at him. No matter how you flip or flop, you're going to the back of the line before Dream when it comes to the title. And this promo was pretty fire between the two.
Oh, it was.
This
was definitely an A+ promo.
Yeah, it was. And Ricochet then proceeds telling Dream that he could run circles around him. And Dream being Dream, saying that, anything he can do, Dream can do better. He did a lot of, like, Remy of The Rock. The Rock kept talking in third person. Dream kept saying, the Dream, the Dream. And so the Dream says more shit to Ricochet. Ricochet says, then prove it. And Dream turns around and then tries to go in for a sneak, but then Ricochet's ready for it, and Dream falls down. And then Dream just, like, does his weird crawling thing. I think it's going to be a good feud. It looks like it's setting up to be a feud. Should be awesome. The next thing after that was a match between Raul Mendoza versus EC3. EC3 beat the crap out of Raul Mendoza. Like, it was okay match. Obviously, they want to express how big EC3 is. I don't like his finisher, which is a neck breaker. Puts him on his shoulders, John Cena style, and then
spins him around.
Spins him around, neck breaker. So I'm like, dude, EC3 could do so much more than a stupid neck breaker, but whatever, that's the way they want to go. Post-match, Kathy Kelly interviews EC3, says why he's the top 1%, and he's going to change NXT into NX3. and the fans chant NX3 as well. It was I got kind of a heelish vibe from it, but I don't think they're gonna go full blown heel just yet. He's playing like middle of the road here.
Tweener.
Yeah. Up next, we get a Mauro Ranallo saying that Dakota Kai will take on Vanessa Bourne. But before that, we had at the Performance Center Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. And they approached the UK champion Pete Dunne about what happened last week. And pretty much they're setting up 3 versus 3 for next week. So, Undisputed versus what you said too. Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch.
Yes, my past self did have a premonition.
Oh, yeah.
That would come true.
Keep
And
forgetting.
it seems as though he was...
You guys
he
look
was
so
correct.
similar.
No, he's broken. He's weirder.
Um,
No offense. No
pretty
offense,
much.
broken.
Pretty
Awoken.
much the next singles match is the Dakota Kai versus Vanessa Bourne. Vanessa Bourne showed up as when you said Mandy Rose had a pornish style.
She was dressed.
She was
Like,
dressed
ready
as a
for
porn
video.
star. It was pretty bad. But Dakota Kai wins clean over... it was kind of a wishy-washy match. Vanessa Bourne looks... I didn't know who they were. Eric Synyster over here said that she's really good in the ring. I didn't get that vibe. I think they're very they just wanted to make Dakota Kai look strong. So Dakota Kai beat her easily. She did this running around kick, kind of like a haluva kick, but it's modified.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it is by any chance? Or you've seen it?
I've seen what you're talking about, but I don't think it necessarily has a name.
Okay. It's pretty much a hell of a kick, but she runs around half the rink. So, that's what happens. Shelby. Thank
I'm
you.
listening.
Correcting me.
It's haluva. Even though
is
it's
haluva.
spelled helluva, it's haluva. It's stupid. I don't agree with the decision, but
Alright, so Kai wins. As she's standing in the ring and she's celebrating, Shayna Baszler comes out and steps in, gets in front of Dakota, notices that Vanessa's getting up slowly, puts Vanessa in that headlock thing. Don't know what they call it yet.
I believe it's the Kira... Oh, boy.
Coquina clutch.
No. Kira Fu something clutch.
you're a cure for something.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't even mention it here, so that's probably what it's called. I don't know.
They probably couldn't say it, honestly. They're
Yeah.
probably like, fuck that thing.
So, Kathy Kelly, which is Finn Balor's girl, right?
Yep.
Catches Dakota Kai coming through the curtain and asks why she's so afraid of Shayna. Says Kai's not sure and says that she wants to run away. Baszler walks through and antagonizes Kai to hit her. Says, you're like, I forget what they call Dakota Kai. Something of the kick, the queen. What is it that they call Dakota Kai?
She's known as the Queen of Kick.
Queen of Kick. Yeah. So.
Leader of Team Kick.
Oh, there you go, Team Kick. And Shayna's like, why don't you kick me? Why don't you do it face to face with her? And then just ends up just walking away. And Dakota looks weak. I can sense that this is going to be the first test for Shayna. Unfortunately, Dakota is not going to go over in this next takeover. That's
No, my past self's premonition on that one, it seems, is not coming to fruition the way that
Yeah.
he so wanted it to.
Dakota, just a side note, reminds me a lot like Bayley. Very like when Bayley first entered the scene before she had her inflatable things. She reminds me a lot like her. I see Dakota eventually becoming NXT Women's Champion, but not for a long time.
Agreed.
I just don't see anyone take. If anyone's gonna take over Shayna, I don't think it's gonna be Dakota. I think it's gonna be some huge up and comer.
I think it's someone else.
Who?
Because
Think it's Kyrie?
no,
No.
there was somebody else during that segment that you missed. Nikki Cross. You just hear laughing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maniacal
that's right.
laughing from behind Dakota Kai.
Yep.
And then she's standing behind like one of the stage beams. She's like, I'm like, oh, Nikki, you're about to fuck shit up.
So Nikki it's probably not afraid of Shayna. She probably I'm waiting for that segment where Nikki just laughs in Shayna's face.
I can't wait for it. I cannot wait.
But next match, I think this was not the main event. It was prior to that. But
Dang.
War Raiders versus Heavy Machinery.
War Machine, War Machine, War Machine.
And the War Raiders won. It was literally like 5 or 6 moves. That's it. It was
destroyed him.
Yeah, Otis did a few big moves. Tucker Knight didn't even do anything, really. He got tagged in, he got beat up, and then that was the end of that. And War Raiders won. I'm not sold on War Raiders just yet. I need to see more from them. I understand they had this huge following and thing before, but I never watched it. I never watched it. So, War Raiders, War Machine. They say War Raiders, but I don't know. I need to see more of them. The fact that they beat my favorite tag team in NXT kind of pisses me off. But whatever, it's cool. It's cool.
Well, they didn't beat them. They destroyed them.
They destroyed them. And I was hoping that this was going to lead to like a takeover match, but they decided to put on random NXT show and just beat them clean. So the team I hate the most had a segment. It's Street Profits, and they're showing them training on a tennis courts and basketball courts and all this stuff. And at one point, one of them bends a fence. I guess they beat the crap out of the fence, and it's bent. And they were like, they hype up one another, yell into a camera, and proclaim that they are ready for the tag team titles and going nuts. And I'm like, okay, cool. I know you really.
I like the Street Profits.
You like the Street Profits too?
He brought up something though, who they should bring back and have manage them. MVP.
That'd be pretty cool. Pretty dope. Final segment.
I say Crime Time.
We could just have a faction with Crime Time MVP and the Street Profits.
Hell yes.
Holy crap, that'd be crazy. But
can we have another wholesale?
Oh, poor Lita. poor Sister Amy.
Main event was Cassius against Ciampa.
Oh my god.
Hard match.
Hard is not even the proper term. Thanos showed up here.
Yeah, in the form of Tommaso Ciampa.
No. In the form of Cassius. Oh no, the way he was hitting Ciampa.
Oh yeah. But
oh my god.
Cassius was hitting him just as hard with his running knee, and then towards the end, after.
You're right. Thank you for
Ciampa.
agreeing.
I said Ciampa.
You said Cassius.
Whatever. And it's late. I'm tired. And Ciampa.
It's only about 8:30.
Yeah, I don't wake up. I wake up every day at like 6 a.m. because the kid. But
sounds like a you problem.
It is a me problem. But every morning I wake up and I just want to cry. No.
Well, we're getting to this part of the show.
No, Ciampa towards the end takes off his brace and has Cassius in the middle of the ropes and just like pulls him back, and no music played. Fans chant asshole, all that crap. They're just building on this Tommaso. Obviously, Ono wasn't gonna win.
No.
Still waiting for Ono to get jumped up here because, like, what the hell are you still doing in NXT?
I'm starting to think he has a lot to do with the development down there.
I hope not, because I want to see him do other things.
Because that's what I'm starting to see there. Because I want one of two things here. Cesaro to come up and to have a tag team with Ty Dillinger as the perfect knockouts. Or
you just talked about Brother Cesaro.
Or get him back with Cesaro.
So you want Cesaro to come up and have a team with Ty Dillinger?
Did I say Cesaro?
Yes.
Cassius Ono to come up and have a team with Ty Dillinger as the perfect knockout, or get the indie tag team back with Cesaro and Cassius Ono.
In my opinion, I want Cesaro to be singles guy. Because if they're going to break Sheamus and Cesaro, they'll put Cesaro in another tag team. The man needs to do more than just be a tag team champion. He has the ability to do more than just be a tag team
He's
champion.
had the ability to do more, but Vince won't push this guy.
Yeah.
Because he's too busy sucking off Roman.
He's probably like the number one guy in wrestling right now that's probably the strongest guy in wrestling. This guy, I mean, let's not forget how he won, was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal by eliminating Big Show by picking him up over his shoulder, walking over, and throwing him out.
Yeah.
Like, that was freaking crazy. That was his big push, and then Vince was like, I'm going to put you with Paul Heyman. I'm like, oh my god, here we go. The era of Cesaro has started. And then the next week after that, the era of Cesaro ended.
It was a short era.
But that was NXT in a nutshell. Right now, they're doing live shows. My phone keeps updating with results. I'm not going to spoil myself, though. But right now, they're in Baltimore. Oh, no. Doing a NXT show for, I think, next week. Do it for
So
Baltimore.
should I keep the spoilers that I've come across away from you?
Oh, you've come across spoilers?
I know who the next challenger for a couple titles are.
Oh, yeah. Well, apparently this show in Baltimore right now is a 2-hour show, so I think it's going to be the next 2 NXTs. So, who do you think will be the next challenger to Alistair?
Well, I'm not going to announce it on the podcast.
Who do you think?
Well, I know.
In
I
other
know.
words, he's hinting, I want to know.
It's probably Ciampa.
all of the entities around me allow me to know endless amounts of information.
What is it?
Ciampa's how that last name is pronounced.
Ciampa.
I had no idea, because it's like CIA, and I was like, how the
Wait, you didn't
So
know how
some
it was
people say
pronounced?
Champa and some people say Chiampa.
I say Ciampa.
Most
is
people say
Ciampa.
Champa.
Okay, because I'm hearing Champa and I'm thinking like CHOMPA.
DREAM, man.
I'm thinking like the stupid things in Mario.
Now that this one is done talking.
I have my I didn't ask the whole time because I didn't want to, but then I'm sitting there going, wait a second. I know who they're talking about. I did not realize that's how that last name was said.
Magic!
Yeah.
Yeah!
And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? That's not that guy's name.
Any last thoughts?
I learned something today.
Yay! My last thought is regarding 205 Live. I want Wesley Blake to come back.
He had just started a faction on NXT and then
Gone.
showed up and gone.
I would like him to be in 205 Live. They're going to bring back the titles. They're going to bring the titles to 205 Live. I want Blake and...
Murphy.
Yes.
Why are you burying Murphy? Murphy is main event caliber.
I know, but I loved Blake and Murphy when Alexa Bliss turned heel and became
And
part of
bailed
that
on
group.
them?
Sister
That
Bliss
too.
was the only real redeeming quality of that
Oh
tag
yeah,
team.
everyone
'Cause I
knew
remember
that,
that.
but now Murphy's been making a name for himself.
When she was carrying them and then they kept losing and she was like, okay, you know what? I'm done here.
Yeah.
Although she's
I
marrying
watched-
one of them.
I watched that particular episode the day she was like, you know what? You guys can't win. I'm done. And I was like, oh, let's just saying it like it is.
Any predictions for next week's 205 Live on who might show up from London?
I see Pete Dunne showing up.
I see Tyler
Bate.
Brother Seven.
Is
I
he
believe.
under
I don't know if he's
205
under
though?
205. He's a
'Cause he's
pretty
a bigger
Oh,
dude.
that is a very good point.
Let me break. I'm gonna look that up because if he is gonna be there, I can see Trent Seven showing up.
Unfortunately, Neville
Actually, Pete
will
Dunne
not.
might not be there either then, because if Pete Dunne's not under 205, because he's a big dude.
Unfortunately, Neville will not be there.
I wish.
Neville.
Neville.
Who?
Neville.
Who?
Neville.
Who?
Neville.
Brother Adrian.
Brother.
Oh!
And actually, what I would like to see, and I know that he won't be a mainstay, but I love his matches, and I love to see him just show up in one match. And that's
Would it be Brother Saber?
Zack
Brother
Sabre
Zach.
Jr. Yeah.
Pete Dunne is 205, so he's most definitely gonna be there.
Wait, what are we talking about? Of course he's going to be there. He had a match with Enzo Amore a while ago.
That one was on Monday night.
That was on Monday.
But they had the cruiserweight ropes up. So I mean, maybe.
And Trent Seven is 216.
Yeah, Trent Seven's a big guy.
Yeah, he is.
He maybe lose a little bit of weight.
Oh, my legs. Huh?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they put Sin Cara on 205 Live for a while. Pretty sure they're pretty
Sin
lenient
Cara
about
got hefty.
Yeah, now.
Where's Vitalik, man?
Maybe that's why they got rid of
He's
him.
not wimpy anymore.
I mean, I still don't think that Grand Metalik is actually under the weight limit.
I think he is because of his height. He's a chubby, small guy. He's like a
He's not small.
yeah.
He's like 5'10", 5'11". That's not small. Like, Kalisto is small. And I love him dearly. But he's small. I don't get this deal with the party clackers.
Maybe a possibility of Rey Mysterio.
Ooh.
There will
What
be
would he
no
be
Zack Sabre Jr.
What would he be doing in England?
Brother Metalik is listed at 174.
Yeah, I believe that. I weigh more than Grand Metalik. Off my ass.
Yeah.
So who's gonna be there besides Pete Dunne?
There's
Yeah,
no,
he's
Tyler
also-
Bate.
there's
Kalisto's
no Zack
also listed
Sabre
at 5'6".
Jr. That is officially
And Sin
confirmed
Cara
now
was listed at
because
5'7".
he signed with New Japan.
A height difference of 1 inch
this would
is
be a
this
one-time
much.
thing.
He
Doesn't
hit his
matter.
shoulder.
That's how they're working with
That's
Jericho.
that's 1 inch.
Jericho doesn't have a
So I'm
contract
an inch
yet.
shorter than Eric.
Yes.
He's a freelancer
Excellent. I knew
still.
I was tall.
Yeah, Jericho's still freelancing, but Zack Sabre Jr. is officially signed with New Japan.
Neville.
All these wishful thinkings and premonitions that'll never come true.
Yeah, he won't be there.
I mean, I don't think Rey Mysterio would be hanging out in London.
Especially
So-
since with Neville, he moved to his hometown in London. In I forget where it is, but it's in
East Bumfuck.
it's in the UK, and it just confirms that Neville will never come back.
Neville's probably fed
But
up
that's
with
the-
WWE shitting all over
Yeah,
him.
but that's the thing. Neville literally can't do anything. He's gonna. What is he gonna work a desk job?
Oh, do soccer.
That's all he like. He can't wrestle.
He could teach people how to wrestle. He
I
could
guess
become a
that's
coach.
true. Yeah.
He can't wrestle.
In the prime of his career,
Well, the thing is, like, he can't wrestle under the name he has.
no, he can't wrestle anywhere.
Because he's still under contract?
They froze his contract, so his contract isn't running down. So
Why-
if he has 3 years on his contract,
The
still
only
he's stuck at
thing-
3 years.
The only thing that can happen to Neville is if WWE treats Neville like they did with CM Punk and terminate him and send him in via mail that he's no longer part of WWE. Because when CM Punk quit, he didn't quit. His contract was frozen until WWE decided to say, "We wish you the best in your future endeavors."
Yes, on the day of his nuptials.
And the day of his wedding, that's when he got his termination papers.
I feel like it's just like a fucking episode of The Godfather. On this, the day of my wedding,
But
you come into my home with this letter.
any predictions on who the member of New Day is going to be?
I don't believe we're gonna be getting a fourth member of the New Day.
No,
like
but
part
who's
of the,
gonna-
part of
Oh.
the Money in the Bank match. Because I feel like New Day could go over in that match, but I just don't know which one. I don't think it's going to be Kofi, but it could be because of his ability to do crazy stuff.
Exactly
I think
the
it would
reason
be
why I
Kofi.
believe it would be Brother Kofi.
Yeah.
I think it would be Kofi.
It would be.
Xavier would get crushed in that match.
I think Big E.
I would love to see.
He is
it be
another
Big E.
possibility.
And it'd be cool too because with Big E or any member of the New Day being part of that match, you know the other two are going to show up there and help that guy win. So it should be cool. And I can see Braun destroying the entire New Day.
Oh, facts. And there's part of me here that's like, Finn Balor's not winning it.
There's part of me that says that too.
I thought Finn Balor was going to get fucked in that match. I texted Nelson thinking that Finn Balor was going to lose. And I was like, why won't they let my boy do anything? And then he won. And I was like, holy shit, my boy did something.
I really wanted Sammy to win because I'm tired of Sammy and Kevin getting the shit end of every fucking
I'm-
pay-per-view.
They both
I-
deserve to be in that freaking.
They
don't
do.
I
Oh
don't
my
like this
God.
Sammy.
I love
this
this Sammy.
He's like really fun, but I liked the Sammy that he debuted up in the roster with. Like the underachieved, like the underdog. I liked that.
Yeah, but he
And
got
he-
injured.
But now he's more over than ever. Like as a heel, he gets more people singing for his song than he did face. What?
I don't know. I liked underdog Sammy. I really did. I love underdog characters though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but that's Sammy
liked
got injured in that.
I
ruined him.
liked underdog heading to Mick Foley territory.
I
Because
can,
he was absolutely heading down that path.
what I can see happening is I can definitely see Kevin Owens and Sammy doing a one more match with each other to get like a final. Like you said, how you have like one opportunity left. You guys fight it up. I can definitely see them having one opportunity but against each other. You know, maybe sparking a feud. I don't know, because it looks like these two have tension ever since before WrestleMania with Daniel and Shane, and I could see them two going at it at SummerSlam.
Yeah, because that's what we were supposed to have that match at Mania originally.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Sammy versus Kevin because that was their dream, is to fight each other at Mania. Because since they were kids, that's what they wanted to do, to be main event Mania. But the second thing was to actually go off against each other at Mania.
Mm-hmm. And I could see that happening.
The
Happen.
happening
What happened?
with Mel Gibson.
But I could see that. Ow.
I didn't get my chest chopped, so.
Wonderful.
I had to get someone back for the feeling
yes.
up comment, which, by the way, my mother listens to these podcasts.
Oh shit!
So my thing is, what did I get hit for the
Magical.
feeling up comment?
Well, my mother starts to watch these podcasts hears all the bad wet language and goes, "Oh, I'm too old for this," and turns it off. So she didn't hear the feeling up comments, but if they're made again, I will get manicure scissors, and all of you will lose your testicles.
Oh, yeah. Why am I being targeted here? I was the innocent one.
All of you.
Contemplates making a comment.
Any other opinions or anything going forward?
I'm still contemplating the comment.
No,
Well, I guess
end the show
I
with
guess
you.
that's it.
No.
Well,
End the show with Zel.
thank you all for joining us again for this lovely podcast, the Phenomenal Wrestling Podcast. Stay tuned. We're gonna keep coming with a ton of content for you guys. Just keep it up. We love you. Like, share, subscribe.
Yes,
Anything
this
you want.
wonderful occasion is over. There will only be one pair of testicles.